In 2026, this shithole world's gonna give us a rogue AI fucking president. 2 endless goddamn wars, 3 billion jobless fucking losers, 4 climate shit show catastrophes, 5 motherfucking deep fake scandals, 6 tariffs screwing trade to hell, 7 billion squeezed to fucking death, 8 billionaires jerking off in space, 9 alien contacts, 10 quantum max crashing every goddamn bank, 11 midterms rigged by butt assholes, and a World Cup that's pure politicized horseshit hell. Oh, 2026, you absolute clusterfuck. Trump's back hosting the World Cup, the orange prick. Faster than you can scream MAGA on the fucking pitch. He'll deport the refs for one shitty offside glitch. AI agents running your pathetic life like a cunt. Your job fucking obsolete, now scrub the goddamn grunt. Agentic bots planning your funeral ahead of schedule, cause overpopulation's breeding like rabbits on Matthew Feeble. We're all gonna fucking die. What a goddamn thrill. Squeezed out by crowds or roasted by AI. You twats, climate's on fire, economy's completely fucked, but hey, at least the tech bro assholes got banks. Sarcastic cheers to the end of this bullshit ball. 2026, you're the best fucking curtain call. You're the best fucking curtain call. Winter Olympics in Italy, who gives a flying fuck? Skiers slipping on melted glacier tears, tough luck. Commonwealth Games broken, forgotten, you pricks, while Ukraine freezes or blows up in flaming dick tricks. Baba Vaga says aliens finally phoned home, but it's just Musk tweeting from his Mars fuck dome. Doomsday clock ticks, Fun Forrester was goddamn right. November 13th, infinite humans kiss your ass goodnight. We're all gonna die in the dumbest fucking ways. Terrorists and bubbles and apocalyptic haze. Flip phones for rich kids to detox their spoiled brains, while gig workers starve and notification chains mean spirited joy for the apocalypse near. Happy fucking new year, you miserable deers. Quantum breakthroughs, not just more fucking hacks. Obesity, drugs, and your dog's goddamn snacks. Deepfakes of you robbing banks while you sleep, you schmucking. Taylor Swift still boosting GDP. Give a fuck, no peace, no jobs, no hope in this cesspool site. Just end the scrolling into the shittiest night. Yeah, we're all gonna fucking die, and it'll be hilarious. Blame the boomers, the bots, and the various assholes. 2026, you sarcastic shit stained dream. The year humanity burst at the goddamn seam. Cheers to extinction, you worthless fucking horde. At least the AI won't be bored, you pathetic bastards. In 2026.
You know what? That turned out okay. But I stand by what I'm saying here. Shit, we're fucked. You know? I don't even think H-Bars is listening. He's just fucking typing on his goddamn keyboard.
What's that?
I was going to yell at you in the last stream because you were typing, and I'm all like, can you not? In my brain. Can you not
I
type?
shall type forever.
You should fucking mute yourself when you type. But that was a good conversation. I'm okay with that shit.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Parallax here says 3 shots of Henny and 3 mics hard. I think that's responsible drinking. I hope you had the fucking... You had Hennessy and then with malt liquor? Jesus.
Parallax is a drunk.
And I'm already fucked up. 2027 is my year. Just don't make any calls when you're drunk, dude. I mean, 3 mics hard lemonades. That can get you in some bad shit.
The only person he's talking to is
bad
me.
Shit. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
If he's drunk, a bad thing.
Oh. Don't need none of that. So what'd you do for a Happy New Year, by the way? What did you do today? Since you're
I watched
home?
the finale of Stranger Things.
Which you said was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. Like, wasn't bad, wasn't good. I'm just glad it's done. I can't wait for your opinion on it because I think you might feel the same way after.
I mean, I'm really enjoying season 5, but I'm such an easy lay when it comes to this shit, though. That's kind of the whole that's like the downside of me is I'm so easily just fucking entertained.
Well, I will
You
say
know?
that I love the all the other episodes. That's what I will say.
Okay. Well, I think look, the biggest problem with something like this is sticking the landing. Because like you got to, and this has maybe been like the biggest problem with the fifth season so far. And I don't want to go into spoiler territory, but I would argue that like when you've got a cast that's that big, everyone needs a hero moment. You know?
With
Like, I mean, dude, even Mrs. Wheeler got a hero moment. You know, sure, fuck it, let's go, sort of thing, right?
without spoilers, have you seen the 1990s It?
Yes, multiple times. I've seen it multiple times.
Okay, just
I
remember.
no, yeah, I saw someone. I saw another reference to what you're talking about through the lens of Wild Wild West, the Will Smith movie from 1999.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to anything more than that. I'm good on. I've heard of it. I'm like, that should be interesting. I need to see what happens.
What I will say is that when I saw that, I was like, okay, this show. I know it's meant to be inspired by like It, but I was like, okay, now it really feels like It.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like something along those lines is just interesting to me because when you've got you know, all of these characters and then you've got all this kind of weird shit going on and you've got like all of everything else, right? Like all of the craziness that you've seen, you know, they're just going to go crazier with it. And I think I think in these situations a big problem is the show is ultimately a victim of its own success. You know, and I would say this if like many shows are victims of their own success. Squid Game is kind of a victim of that. Game of Thrones is absolutely a victim of that.
Squid Game had a really good ending. Have you watched it yet?
I haven't seen season 2 or 3. But the reason why I say that it's kind of a victim of that is because people had such high expectations going into it that, you know, it's like you're never going to recreate that momentum again. You know? And that's where
I think the
Oh,
thing
go
that
ahead.
hurt Stranger Things, like I felt this with my parents, like they had told me this, is that they just don't really care about the show that much anymore. But it just took so fucking long for it to finish.
Yeah, well that's kind of the problem too. It's like you had so many things, right? Like there was the fact that the shows took a long time to film. There's a lot of visual effects work, right? They had ever expanding, you know, seasons. You know, season 1 was just the kids in Hawkins, right? Minimal. I think like the school was like, and maybe the laboratory. Those are like your biggest things. They had some upside down stuff, right? But then in season 2, it expanded. Now you had like the demi dogs and you have more government stuff coming on. In season 3, it was literally like the end of the season took place. You know, they called it what? The Battle for Starcourt Mall or whatever it was, you know, and like they're fighting Russians that had come to Hawkins and like built a tunnel through the fucking upside down. And then that led into season 4 where like they literally like the upside down then ran all the way to the other side of the world. And they were able to like make their way in somehow. Right. So it's like every season has an escalation point to kind of expand the world. And they do that as a way to justify the show's existence. And justify keep coming in back. It's kind of like, did you ever see Last Action Hero?
The Schwarzenegger movie.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
For one, it's a good movie. It flopped back in 90. Well, it didn't flop, but it wasn't well received. But it was, I love that fucking movie. But there was a line in there because when the kid goes and sees the movie that he gets sucked into, it's not the first film in the franchise. It's number 4. By the time he goes in, he's already in like the 4th iteration of this character fighting, you know, and Arnold even goes like, I keep getting put up against like harder things and I keep winning, you know, like about like how the enemies get crazier and like more violent and everything else, you know. And the idea there again, that's a joke about the escalation of these franchises, right? Look at, and I think they're really making fun of Rambo because Rambo starts off First Blood, adaptation of a book, post Vietnam War, you know, the way that vets were being treated. And everything else, and never mind PTSD and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot to say in that first movie, you know? And then they go, man, this movie was a success. What are we going to do? We got to do more. Okay, well, let's take him out of the Oregon forest being hunted by Brian Dennehy, and let's put him in fucking, you know, what was number two? Number two was Cambodia?
Yeah, it was Cambodia, I think.
Right? So he's in Cambodia, and he's got an M16, and he's got a fucking rocket-propelled, you know, fucking arrow. Or is Rambo 3, right? But then either way, it's like in he goes to Cambodia and he just kills a shit ton of people, you know. And then at Rambo 3 is he's fighting with the Mohad, God, what are they called?
Mujahideen.
Mujahideen, yeah, thank you. Right, and then even at the end of that movie, it even has a bit there about praising the Mujahideen warriors. That were like, weren't those Bin Laden's people?
No. So the Mujahideen had, like, once the war in Afghanistan was over, split up into multiple splinter groups and stuff. Most of the main guys were fighting with the U.S. during the invasion of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But like obviously Bin Laden, yeah, he was one of the bad ones. But most of the Mujahideen stayed loyal to the United States, like during the invasion, to get rid of the Taliban.
Oh, okay. Well, my whole point, though, is that it's like, just in regards to the escalation of the character, the escalation of where they had to take it
or is Myanmar, I think, or Burma.
Burma. Dude, 4 is so fucking good, though. I don't give a shit. Like 4 is so fucking good. Like you go from like, yes, I did. I saw it in theaters. Yes, I did. I did not like it as much as number 4.
There's a director's cut that I still need to see.
Is there a director's cut of that? Okay, because that's one because Stallone directed that one too, didn't he?
No, he did not. But yeah, 4 is like really, that fucking movie is violent as fuck.
Well, that movie is, I mean, like, yeah, it's just like the whole part, like, you know, where he goes and he rescues his niece or whatever, you know, and then she dies from like the OD on the drive back home. So he just goes back and like decapitates the dude and like hucks his head out the side of the vehicle. You know, or like he built the tunnel system. Like that was the weirdest thing. His post-traumatic stress disorder was channeled into building a tunnel system underneath the ranch. Do you know what the original pitch for Rambo 5 was? It was called The Hunt. It was Rambo this was seriously an idea they were working on, and I think they turned it into something else, but I would have loved to have seen it. So Rambo's retired. He's back on the ranch. He gets contacted by like a group of special forces that need his help tracking down basically like a creature, like think like the chupacabra type thing in Mexico. And he's got to go down to like Mexico or South America or maybe Central America and like help these guys hunt this creature. That was an idea that they legitimately were pushing for a while before we got Last Blood. And I think Last Blood was better than that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wanted to see Rambo 5, The Hunt. But after his complete bloodbath in Burma and just like, you know, eviscerating all these guys with the fucking 50 cal. You know?
And we're not even done yet with Rambo because we're getting a prequel.
Are we?
Yeah.
That's lame. What is it going to be Rambo in Vietnam? Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah, it's supposed to be that guy who's playing He-Man, or was supposed to play He-Man, Noah Centineo.
Oh, Centineo.
Yeah,
he's playing Rambo. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I guess because in the first thing, it was all about the you know, he was just a normal guy, you know.
Yeah,
but even look at Rocky, and I haven't seen Rocky, but look at Rocky. Starts Rocky's off, you know. Good. Rocky Balboa, Adrian, and he fucking loses in the first movie, you know, and then like and then from there, like it just keeps escalating and escalating and escalating, you know, like you get to Ivan Drago. If he does, he does, right? It's like, all right, now he's just fighting his way through the fucking other countries and shit, you know.
And 5 is not as bad as people say it is. Like I know Stallone doesn't like 5, but it's good.
I hear a lot of bad shit about 5. I do. I hear a lot of bad shit about.
Five's a fun time. It what the fuck is the there's a fucking repeated word they use it. I think it's just go for it. Like that's something that they just keep repeatedly saying over and over in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if you watch it, you'll just notice that they keep saying just go for it.
So, I mean, okay.
And then
No,
Rocky Balboa is really good.
I've heard good things about Rocky Balboa. And then didn't they do a sequel to that?
Yeah, the Creed movies.
Right. It's yeah, it's I heard those are good. I heard Ryan Coogler did a good job with that.
Yeah, he did good with the first one. The second one's really good because they bring back Drago, and then 3 was that was the first one without Stallone. That was I don't know. It was weird not having Stallone in it, but it was still good. But I felt like I don't know, it just was missing Rocky in that one.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you have a film centered around that character and then you move away from that character, you're kind of like, all right, that makes sense.
But going back to what I was saying earlier about like with Stranger Things and stuff, is that overall, if I had to rate which TV show I liked better this year, since they're kind of similar, both with kids and shit, Welcome to Derry is the superior show.
See, I haven't seen Welcome to Derry yet. That's on my list, but I'm going to say my favorite show of the year has been Andor, hands down.
I gotta figure out this Welcome to Derry is. I don't think it's my favorite show this year overall. It's up there though. Like when it comes to just between Stranger Things and that, it's obviously the better. But I gotta look at see what other stuff I watched this year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I mean, look, all this stuff is subjective and everything, and I think it's like there's a lot of shit like that's worth checking out, but at the same time, it's also very difficult to like keep up with everything. Like I know Fallout season 2, haven't seen Fallout season 2.
I haven't seen it either.
I was just like, okay, what I'm doing right now is I'm doing Stranger Things. Probably I think let me see here. I'll probably get to it tomorrow because I got work.
I just started Wednesday season 2 like 2 days ago.
Oh, dude, that's based. I thought it was great. Here's the thing with Wednesday season 2. It leans into like what I think people really wanted out of it, but it also, I mean, no, it's better. It's better. Like Morticia's way better this season. Everything with Gomez is way better. Wednesday is more Wednesday, but we get more Enid. Now, have you met Agnes yet? You would have if you've already started it.
Yeah,
the crazy bitch. Yeah, I love Agnes. Agnes becomes what by the end you will come to love Agnes.
I've only seen 2 episodes so far.
Yeah, no, it's good. You'll notice, but like there's a lot of guest stars.
Yeah,
like fucking Steve Buscemi as the fucking head of the as the headmaster of the school now.
Yeah,
what the fuck, right? Yeah, he's great. He's great. Did you notice his haircut? How it's similar to somebody else?
Whose?
They might reference it. His haircut, like his haircut, looks like Edgar Allan Poe. I think that's kind of how like
remind me of Edward Scissorhands in a way.
A little bit. I mean, Tim Burton's influence on that, obviously, but there's a photograph, I believe, because it's Nevermore University or Nevermore School, right? So Nevermore being Edgar Allan Poe, him having an Edgar Allan Poe haircut, it's kind of like an interesting angle with that. But I really enjoyed Wednesday season 2. We blazed through the second half of that show because it came out the day my kids went back to school. That started the new school year. And so dropped the kids off at school, came home. Girlfriend was still unemployed at the time. So we just ended up watching like the last 4 episodes before going to get the kids.
Parallax, you didn't even finish Yellow Jacket season 3. So you can't be saying
I haven't even started Yellow Jacket season 1 yet. I don't really not.
It's a really good show. Season 3 was really good, but Parallax didn't even finish it, so I don't know why he's putting it there.
I don't know either. There's been a fair amount of there's always TV to watch, but I think a lot of people are just kind of like fighting for that like next big conversation. And I think that's one of the big problems with some of these shows is that they come on out and like they're designed to be that particular, like the next Stranger Things, the next fucking Shogun, the next whatever. And like, I mean, Welcome to Derry got a lot of love, but like outside of some of the stuff I've seen on social media, like I don't see anyone talking about it.
No, I don't either.
So, and I'm pretty sure I'm sure it's amazing. I have
Like I said, it's also a sequel and a prequel.
yeah. I mean, that makes sense. That completely makes sense. Why they'd want to do that. So, like let's fucking go. I want to see because I really do enjoy. I saw one gif of like Pennywise as like a vulture. I saw a gif of that and I was like, fuck, dude, that's insane.
Yeah, that's the last episode.
So,
Yeah, there's a lot of backstory in it that's really good. They act like I don't know if it's not really a spoiler, but it's kind of in the book if you've read the book. But they finally show Pennywise, the guy before it took over his form.
Oh, they showed that even in the in it chapter 2.
Yeah, they showed like just a picture of him, but this time we actually get to see who Bob Gray was before.
Oh, okay. How is Bill Skarsgård in the role? Like here I hear he's really good.
Better than he was in the films,
Okay.
and he was already great in the films. Because this time he's not really constrained. Like so, with the kids in the movie, they have the big space turtle protecting them, Maturin. This one, he's more violent because there is no Maturin protecting shit, so he's able to just like kill anybody basically at this point.
Okay. I don't know. Surprisingly, I need to really pay attention to the lore of that. I don't. I know the miniseries and I know the movies, and what I find to be really funny, is that people still, regardless of what was it? Fuck. Like either it's the miniseries or it's the adaptation. Nobody really likes it chapter 2. Like the second part. The older kids thing. Because I think in part of it is a lot of it is just too fucking cynical. If that makes any sense. It's like, at least with like when I was watching it as a kid, watching the miniseries, there was a lot there that was really, because I mean, for me, it was like you have Harry Anderson from Night Court. You got John Ritter. You got Annette O'Toole. I forget the name of the African American actor, but he'd been around it a bunch as well. So these are like well-known TV people that are in this, right? So that makes it a little bit different because you're kind of like, oh man, look, I know these guys like that, But then you watch the kids version, and the kids have got like Jonathan Brandis and Seth, Seth Green. In those ones, and like Jonathan Brandis is kind of known if you'd seen like Neverending Story 2. Seth Green wasn't well known at the time. The other kids are just kind of there, and then, so I think that's one of the reasons why maybe when my generation watching the part 2 of that was a little bit different was because we recognized these actors from being in these other shows, and then you watch part 2 and it's like, oh, look, they got like, Bill Hader, they got Jessica Chastain, they got all these bigger named actors, but it just felt so like, I don't want to say soulless, but it was like the wonder of the kid side of it is gone. And when you take away that wonder, it really does like kind of take away the enjoyment, I think.
I think one of the big problems with chapter 2 in general, like even in both versions, is that like especially with the 90s version, you kind of want to see these characters confront Pennywise again. But then in that one, he's just like, nah, I'm just gonna be a big spider. And they kind of did like a compromise for chapter 2, but then they just bullied him to death, like he was in a Call of Duty lobby. So,
like, yeah. Well, yeah, that was kind of a thing. Like that was kind of a thing with that. that I thought was interesting. Is like, how do you do the fucking, you know?
I think just fighting straight up Pennywise as a clown instead of being a spider is what people want to see, like with the adult side.
Yeah, well, the spider was also budget constraints as well. So,
Yeah.
because it was a 1990s TV miniseries. Like, what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah. But I'm even
So,
for the Chapter 2, like the actual 2019 version.
well, I mean, but they, yeah, I mean, well, they did at the end. I liked at the end the whole like, you're powerless, you dumb bitch. And they're just like, because like, we're not scared of you. Look at you. Your head looks like a deflated condom. And they're like this out there just talking all that shit, and he's like, "Oh, I can't do it," But it's like it is kind of a metaphor for how to fight back against the bully, right? Bullies
Yeah.
thrive on having that power over you, and everything, and so to show them that you're not afraid takes away all of their fucking power. Now the only downside would be if you want to make it worse is like now, but the bully in the next adaptation has to have autism, so he doesn't understand what that's like to be shamed. He can't feel shame. He doesn't understand social situations, but he's still a gigantic dick.
So is Brandon Pennywise?
He's basically Brandon Donovan, fucking Anthony Chabot mixed in there. A little bit of
That
hello
other guy,
there. Hi there, kids. My name is Pennywise the Clown. It's Columbo Day, Matthew.
that other guy who came after you on Twitter recently.
Which guy is that? There's been a few.
The one who kept talking about how like you photoshopped like your pictures or whatever.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I got to tell you about that one, right? For those of you who don't know, I was, it's actually Little Movie Perp and Crazy Joe were kind of getting in it with this guy, and this guy was talking shit about Joe, and I'm like, don't worry about it, Joe. He looks like he's missing a chromosome or two. And I just took a picture of him from like his website, or I googled his name and I found a photo, and it was him with this in a selfie with 50 Cent, right? And and he's all like, "Why'd you crop out 50 Cent?" I'm like, this doesn't fucking matter. And then he's all like, "Look at you, man! Like, look at you! Like, no one take your picture. You take it like your selfie alone." I'm like, "Yeah, my profile picture is a selfie I took. I'm on a beach in Hawaii. Like, I'm on a beach. I'm in Maui, on a beach in Hawaii, right? Kicking it on a beach, enjoying the nice weather, the nice waves, time with my family and my kids. Yeah, I'm so upset, And then but the guy that's why. So when I said I went after him first, it's true. But I was trying, I was being like, I was kind of defending Crazy Joe, I guess, and then this guy got mad, and so on that, I can own that problem. That was me just being a dick. I am so trying to like not respond to shit, but like fucking people are dumb, dude. And it's just getting worse, it's just getting fucking worse.
You're starting your own Sinister Six, basically.
Well, yeah, that's where it's like for like the stories and shit. The stuff that I showed you the thumbnail. Well, I should say like the first iteration of the thumbnail. I'm still figuring it out. But I'm not really telling anybody. I might tell some people in like the Discord or you or whatever if you ever want to hear it. Some of that stuff, but I'm generally not going to be broadcasting it. It's going to be I'm going to let it be low key on its own, and the reason why is because then if I let it be low key on its own, I can just focus on getting it done. I can just focus on telling more stories, and so it's like, because when I get into the workflow, I can really work. I can really move pretty fast, and what I love about what I do is I'll do this at work. Right. So like I'm talking with Chat GPT, and I know, fucking AI, whatever, man. I tell this to my passengers, and you know what? I tell them the whole thing, and my passengers will be like, "Wait, where can I hear these stories at? These sound pretty cool." And I tell them I use AI to help me with it, right? And and again, you know what they say? I don't give a shit. The story sounds cool. So these are just normal, average people, a lot of whom are in the boomer category. And these are the people that are like, that I fear everything that's like not fucking spoon fed to me on Fox. And I fear even that because it's spoon fed to me on Fox. And I tell them about this AI stuff, and they're like, that's kind of cool, actually. That's pretty interesting. That's like different, and they're not, and the thing is, they're not worried about it. So that's why I laugh so much at these Luddites on fucking Twitter, because it's just all these people are afraid that it's going to impact them. But then what cracks me up is they're able to whip a lot of other people up into a frenzy who aren't artistic in any sense whatsoever, you know, like Brandon. Actually, I take that back. Brandon, at least, you know, he'll at least post his shit. But like Donovan, on the other hand, I've asked him, let me see what you've got, you know, and he's like, no, I won't show it at all. Nah. He does that. Oh no! Did you see? I pissed him off again the other day, last night, because he was crashing out real fucking hard.
I think you sent me something.
Did I send you the video?
You didn't? No, I didn't see a video.
Oh, okay. So I had a little bit of a post about this on. I'll show you just because it's so fucking funny.
Talking about AI though, I think some of the like people in Hollywood that I've seen that have had the best takes on AI would probably be Ben Affleck and Jenna Ortega.
Well, Jenna Ortega had a good take, but then there's another bit of context to that tape where she actually was like saying that it was bad. And she was saying that like it might be good to have some things taken away from some people so they can learn to appreciate it again. Which I will admit I did not do that. Hold on. Oh my God, it's Matt Jarbo. I'm your biggest fan. Hey, what's up, Tipster? How you doing? Happy New Year.
I think she might have to say certain stuff in public so she won't get destroyed by weirdos. Like, I think I think there are some people who are even anti-AI who aren't actually anti-AI. They just have to do it to make sure that they don't get lumped in with like a certain crowd.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's the last thing you want is to be lumped in with a certain crowd. Oh, here we go. So
this what happened with Sydney Sweeney already, not like about the fucking stupid jeans thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was like, you know, people got really mad about the jeans thing, even though she had no control over. Like, I'm sure she knew what the advertising campaign was, and she probably thought it was pretty funny, you know. And then like everyone got real mad about it because they're talking about like eugenics, and you're like, what the fuck are you babbling about, you crazy weirdos? So here we go. Okay, so this is from yesterday. All right, so Donovan, I said I'm at a loss for words here. Donovan Martin is so up his own ass about me that he tweets where I am being supportive. And to send him or that tweets where I'm being supportive, send him into a crash out, because I retweeted. Did you see that Spider-Man Noir animation that someone put out there? It's pretty cool. It was pretty cool. You know, Christopher Miller here, right? You know, the co-creator of Spider-Verse. Chris Miller was like, wow, and I reposted it. I thought it was pretty cool. And apparently, like, I find it pretty disgusting that big pro Gen AI person such as Matt Jarbo for the past 2 years has been glazing Gen AI and really not highlighting any short of artworks done by humans. But now he has the gall to repost an original work of Spider-Man Noir animate. This is not even a fucking like has the fucking what is this like has the gall toe. All right, gall toe to repost a original work of a. You can tell this is look. Donovan likes to feel controlled. If you look at some of his longer posts, he really does try to have like a control. Like he tries to like, you can tell he's crashing out here due to all the fucking like, there is not one comma. There is not one punctuation outside of the very end here. And he just gets really upset. Beyond disingenuous, really acting like he's all for human artists. Spare me the platitudes. I thought the noir animation was cool. That's it. And you know what? I should have said because of that, because they did this in Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, right? Sequel. They had that little Lego animated bit that was done by the kid that did the Lego animation for Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse. Or he did the animation of the trailer for Into the Spider-Verse, I think, or whatever. They gave him a bit in the movie. Right, because of that. And then I figured in this case, I didn't say it out loud, but I was thinking it, that it's possible that the Spider-Man Noir might actually end up getting into the movie because like, oh, if the guy who's, you know, co-directing the film or he's not directing it, but producing it, it gave another animator a bit in that movie. That's cool, right? That how could anyone not be supportive of that, whether you like AI or not?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's such a weird thing to crash out over. So then he did it again. Okay, so Dave the Film Junkie, all right, like, he says, "Oh, I love this." I don't even really know what this is, right? It says here, my first BTS vlog about my comic book journey drops on Patreon, and this one is free. Okay, and so Dave's like, it's inspiring. Check it out and support. She's kind of awesome. So I just reposted Dave the Film Junkie asking for support for a friend of his. I know I'm a monster, right? Because look at him here, Matt Jarbo now acting like he cares about comics. Right?
Christ.
Someone is creating something like, yeah, I'm just retweeting it to be supportive. I'm a disingenuous shill. He's fucking insane, dude.
I think he might be worse than Hitler.
He's definitely like the, just like fucking idiot. Okay. So then this one here. All right. Like, again, someone said Man of Steel is the first Superman film in history to not feature John Williams' iconic theme. And I was like, which is the right move. Constantly going back to the theme is just nostalgia bait, which it is.
Yeah, I agreed with you on that. Because I think
right. It's like, if you watch, so if you go back to Superman Returns, John Ottman was not only the editor of that movie, but the composer of that film. So he added in the Superman theme from John Williams as much as he fucking could. Right. And it was everywhere because it was meant to be a continuation of Superman 2. So then we got something different in Man of Steel. Hans Zimmer theme is great. Okay. But then in Superman 2025, you hear like the start of the theme song, but you never really hear the whole theme song. You'll hear like the first little bit of it. I don't remember if they actually showed the whole fucking theme. I don't think they did in the movie, but it did feel like it was meant to invoke a form of nostalgia, right? Or it could be like what they were trying to do with Casino Royale, which you would only hear the first little bit of the Bond theme every time he kind of accomplished something. So it wasn't until the end of the movie when he shoots Mr. White and Mr. White is crawling on the floor. He's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Bond. James Bond." Da-dun, da-dun, da-da-da. Right? At that point, he becomes Bond. At that point, we get the full theme song. So there's an escalation in Casino Royale with the theme to tie in thematically to where the script is and where the character is. Okay. But Superman 2025 just didn't do that. But anyway.
I think Henry Cavill, I'm not sure if I remember this correctly, but I think Cavill was supposed to eventually get that theme, but he was supposed to earn it.
I could see it at some point being an earned thing. That's totally fucking fine. But I also enjoyed what Hans Zimmer brought to the score in general.
I had an argument with Damien. Oh, the fuck. Fuck.
You're just digging a hole a little fucking deeper there. That's okay. Hold on. How many people are watching this right now on YouTube? 17 people.
I had
people.
I had an argument with Parallax one day about
who?
Man of Steel. Parallax. And he didn't like that how Henry Cavill's Superman killed people, like killed Zod. And I tried telling him, like, I understand that Superman does not kill, but you need to understand that Zack was trying to do a specific version of this where Superman had to learn to care for life and stuff like that.
Yeah, he had to value the fragility of life, more or less.
And I told him that if we would have gotten the full arc, like Zack Snyder said he was supposed to be the Superman from the comics by the end. Like, that is literally what the plan was supposed to be, but everybody fucked it up.
Well, yeah, people freaked out because God forbid you deconstruct some characters. These characters don't need to be deconstructed. And then you look at like what they did with trying to, play into the Superman is like, no, I'm alien, but I'm really human with this new movie. And everyone's like, that's awesome deconstruction. It's like, fucking goddamn it. Look, it's just admit you hate Zack Snyder. That's all you got to say. Here's what I laugh at the most, though. If you ever just peruse through Donovan's feed, it literally is just him like retweeting shit about like how he hates Zack Snyder. Like, this guy doesn't, if you ask him if he's autistic, he'll go, "I'm not autistic," but then he acts like he wears a blue hat. I just want to like send him a hat that says, please be patient, I have autism, and then have him take a picture of that and post it on his profile. So then we know to be patient with him. Because otherwise, I don't understand how anyone can be around that. Like, there's a reason why people like him are completely like, they're alone. Like, there's no other way around it, right? He's got no job. He lives at home with his mom. He like his mom probably brings in a pretty decent amount of money doing what she does. I won't say what it is, so he can live off of that. And then he just spends all of his day on social media just crying about shit. Sean posts anything, he cries about it. I post something where I'm supportive of somebody else, and he's all like crashing out. So anyway, it keeps going. It keeps going because then he also said this: labeling a movie using a theme as nostalgia bait is just cynical, right? And again, again, glazing James Gunn here. Meanwhile, you have directors like James Gunn that literally pay homage and respect to the past, but at the same time, literally are carving out their own path and legacy character. It's okay. So was Zack Snyder, right? I mean, if you want to talk about the legacy of the fucking past, what are you talking about here? Superman, like, literally beating the shit out of slumlords when he first appeared 80 years ago? Like, what the fuck? What iteration of Superman are you talking about? What iteration? Because there's so fucking many. And that's
everybody who hates that Batman kills people, even Parallax doesn't like that Batman killed in BVS. If you go back to the original comics, Batman used a gun and killed people.
Yeah, William kicked Donovan from his streams anytime Donovan complains about Snyder. That's all the fucking time. All the fucking time.
Another thing when it comes to Batman killing, nobody ever brings up Michael Keaton's Batman kill all the fucking time.
Dude, the fact that he goes into an Acme chemical factory and he drops bombs out of the Batmobile and then detonates it and all those guys are inside, no one said a fucking word. Okay, I was there back in 1989. I was 7 years old, but I was still fucking there. No one said a fucking word. Because no one ultimately cares if the heroes kill or not. Because the thing is, all they care about is whether or not it's justified. Okay, look at Batman Begins, right? No one ever got mad at the line at the very end of that movie when you got Ra's al Ghul and you got Batman and they're in the thing, and he goes like, he's like, I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you either, and he fucking just yeets himself out of there and lets the thing fall, crash, and kill Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Technically, at that point, you're that is you being negligent, willfully negligent, and so I do believe there would be a law if anyone knew about that, they would be like, Batman let the guy die. He could have saved him. He could have saved him. He could have absolutely done it. He could have gone up there. He could have saved that guy. He could have protected him like he said he was going to do. And then after that, whatever wanted to happen happened. But he at this particular point did not do that. So we can get him on manslaughter charges or murder too, right? Because he technically could have done it and chose not to do it. Is there a law that Batman would have been busted for if we would have known the result of that? But no one said anything in 2005.
But Affleck does it,
but Affleck beats the fuck out of a shit ton of dudes in the most brutal, awesome Batman fight ever. And they're guy pulls a grenade, Batman kicks the grenade, the guy goes and jumps on the grenade, trying to get it back and dies. Technically, Batman didn't kill that guy. That guy killed that guy.
Yeah,
right. Batman was trying to save himself, and that guy ended up paying the price for it. He whatever. Now, did he kill KGB agent? Yeah. Probably. Well, no, because KGB agent. No, he did because he fired the gun and shot the tank and blew it up and whatever. Again, I don't care, dude. Spider-Man could fucking murk people. I don't really give a shit. I don't really care. I don't think many people fucking care.
Yeah, I don't care either. But also, if people had listened,
thank you, Jess.
Zach had also said for the reason why Affleck was killing is because Joker had killed Robin, so he was in a fucking different mental place. And so when Superman sacrificed himself, he kind of became the old Batman again and wasn't really killing people anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, that's true.
Nobody likes to look at that.
Yeah, here we go. In Arkham City and Arkham Knight, you can push people off 10-story buildings. Yeah, but here's the thing, though. In Spider-Man, the video games, if you kick them off of a building, they automatically get stuck to the side of the building. Right? But what if no one knows that Spider-Man kicked a fucker off a building and got that guy stuck to the building, and then that the webbing eventually wears off, and then that guy falls and splats on the pavement, right?
But
It's
also when it comes to Batman, if he's giving people such bad beatings, we've had in real life where people have been shot and then years later when they die in their 70s, it's still ruled as a murder. So if Batman's beating people to death and then they die years later. Is it a murder because of the injuries they sustained years ago?
Yeah. It's there you go, right? Batman breaks bones, internal bleeding, post-traumatic stress disorder, right? Like how about like, you know, what about like brain damage from the head injury sustained, you know, I mean what everything else, right? Just imagine if they found out that Batman was Bruce Wayne, they would sue the ever living shit out of him. And they would all win. They would all win. So I'm just saying it's like the concept, this fucking weird, I almost like idolatry of these characters and these fucking these perceived morals of the mythos is bullshit. Right?
Yeah.
Because like back in the day, Batman killed, right? You listen to the old episodes of The Shadow fucking killed people. Actually, well, that's not true. The Shadow wasn't called The Shadow. The Shadow was actually the name of the narrator of the radio program. Did you know that? It was the name. It was the name of the narrator of the program on, and that's what. And then they kind of posthumously dubbed the character the Shadow. But yeah, when they had the guy on the radio, it was a mysterious person narrating these stories, and that person was named the Shadow. It's crazy shit. Anyway, kind of going back to this, right? So just to show you the further crash out. So again, Donovan can't help himself here. There's a certain user on here who does YouTube live streams, literally glazing generative AI. So it says there's a certain user, so he wants to hide my name. Then he says my name, and I listened to it, and he had the absolute gall. Loves that word gall. To say that this fan-made AI Paramount ad looks visually better than the Space Jam scene that literally had hundreds of animators and artists collaborating on it. It did. Did you see that part of the stream the other night?
What, the Paramount ad?
Yeah, the Paramount ad looked way better than than Space Jam Legacy. It did. It looked way better. Space Jam Legacy had a weird piss brown filter on it. I don't know if you noticed that either. But again, he just gets so fucking mad here, right? So then it says, so whatever, right? I make fun of him crashing out. And then he says, typical narcissist behavior, label any opposition or opposing views as a crash out. Someone is having to crash out. It's not me. In fact, I'm feeling peachy than ever heading into the new year, right? Okay, then it gets funnier because he then has to go and retweet himself and saying, I hope many see how intellectually lazy and dishonest this person is because he can't even give a rebuttal or retort to what I'm saying. At least I'm giving reasoning for my stances, yet he has to label his opposition as having a crash out. Has he said anything about me that would be considered or anything to be considered an argument? He's literally being upset that I was being supportive on Twitter. That's a crash out. So
let's keep quote tweeting his own shit
because no one else will pay attention to him. So I decided to take this old photo of Donovan. This is Donovan, by the way. Look at him wearing a Superman Man of Steel outfit, saying sell Snyderverse to Netflix, holding the kryptonite, looking all happy. But we figured out we were able to figure out a core ethos into his soul, right? A core part of his soul here. Just this is the truth coming out, right? This is the truth.
I love AI, and I only hate it because I want to be cool. I love AI.
Right? I mean, I feel like the AI really understood why he acts the way that he acts. You know?
I don't think Donovan would ever say any of this stuff to your face.
Oh God, no. He would never, ever in a million fucking years, ever do it. Ever say a word. I could go to California, which I might actually be going to California next month. Now that it's officially January. And I might at some point go to California. I might find myself sometime in Orange County for a variety of reasons. I have friends there. There's things I need to do in OC, as well as in San Diego. And I don't know. I might be in the area. I might be around. You know, I could be available for a sit down at a Starbucks. I could be totally available. You know, I might need to go speak with a realtor for any number of reasons about the area, because, you know, I've been talking with my girlfriend about moving. We've been talking about parts of, you know, maybe going back to California. You know, there's a lot of Orange County is a big area, but there's a lot of safe neighborhoods and good schools in that area. That could be something where my kids could get a good education, and I might just be there needing to talk to a realtor for any number of reasons, which would then put me on a solid business trip to that particular part of the country. And I don't know, maybe Donovan knows somebody. Maybe he knows somebody that I can talk to. Maybe he would be the person to show me a house or two. Who knows? Maybe he could get a job doing that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going
The
on.
only thing I could think of is if he did confront you, he'd be like one of those what do you call it? Crazy like leftists you see freaking out on people's faces.
Yeah, I think it'd be really funny to like to if I was gonna meet with Donovan, I would literally have a shirt made that just says pro AI.
Changed my mind.
Dude, I did that tonight. So I'm at this event in Tacoma, and they had an artist's installation there, right? They had a bunch of like local artists there, and one of them was like they had a whole bunch of these old like DVD-R pluses, right? Like burnable DVDs, and they're doing this art installation where you could write your wishes on the DVDs, and they would hang them up. So people are saying like free Palestine, you know. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm with you on that one. And my daughter was asking for like, she wished for a tabby cat. She wants an orange tabby cat. And then I wrote on one, I took a disc and I thought about like, what is it that I want? What is it that I want to see conveyed? So I just wrote AI art is real art on it. And then I flipped it over and then I wrote, don't let your memes be dreams. And then toss it into the DVD pile wishing well that will end up being part of an art installation in Tacoma.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Donovan Senpai noticed me pretty much. Charbone is AI by his blind. Whatever, dude. Like, I like it, but I'm like, whatever, you know? Like, whatever with it. I think it's fun to mess around with
Everyone
shit.
I've talked to about it literally does not care. Like they think it's cool, but they're like, yeah, I don't care.
I think there are people that I've talked to about it that are not big fans overall, but they don't understand as well. You know, they don't get it. There is like they because what it is they're like they think that it's like, oh, we're just gonna fucking like, you know, like it's just gonna take over everything. And I'm like, well, not really. It's kind of dumb. You know, you only get out of it what you put into it. And that's true. Well, hold on. Space Jam 2 clears hard. See, this is why no one trusts you, Parallax. You're literally coming in here and you're lying. Trying to say Space Jam 2 is a good movie.
Yeah, he's just trolling.
I know he's trolling. His troll game is weak. I think his troll game is weak because you're here. He doesn't want to get you mad. If you weren't here, he'd be probably much more angry.
Yeah, his troll game really pissed me off a couple months ago.
Yeah. Oh, hold on here. I didn't see this. Sorry, Rational. For $5. Do you think the Amazon Warhammer show will get as brutal as the books? Some of the novels are extremely brutal, 10 times more than Game of Thrones. I mean, probably. Now, well, here's the thing though with the brutality. Brutality is like it's a fine line, right? It is a rope you have to cross, right? You know, it's a balancing act because you have to have the violence that will then be the satisfying for the audience to watch, and gory, and part of that again the shock value. The Boys is really good at this. The violence is there, but it's quick, it's punchy, you know. And maybe they've lingered on a little bit of it here, a little bit of on it there, but for the most part, it's quick, it's to the point. If you linger on it too much, what you get is like the Terrifier 2 bedroom sequence that went on for so long that it felt kind of just ridiculous and it lost its impact, you know. So the brutality of a Warhammer series will definitely be there, but I don't quite know, you know. I can't say it's how much of it's going to be there, but I do think we're going to get a lot.
I'm not sure how well the show will do overall, though, because I don't think it really has like a big audience outside of, I think, was it the UK or something?
Yeah, but it can. But there's stuff that can get there. You know
and
what I mean?
Also, I think Amazon wants to finish up with Rings of Power first before moving any to other big fantasy stuff. Because that's why the Wheel of Time was canceled.
I don't think Wheel of Time was canceled because of that. I think Wheel of Time was canceled because it just like I think they realized that they straight up bit off more than they could fucking chew. You know, like when you do Wheel of Time and you do and you changed so much about Wheel of Time. You can't like it's kind of like with Rings of Power, there are some alterations that they can make with like, you know, the gender and race of certain characters. Okay. Like Arondir as a black elf, right? It's like not the end of the world. Makes sense. Okay, you can have it in there. All right. You've got Issa, Black Dwarf, great character. You and I are both big Issa fans. And like that works out okay, right? Because those are original characters.
Yeah.
Original characters for this story that has no real, it has lore, but it doesn't have anything else other than that. Now, when you get into fucking Wheel of Time, and Wheel of Time, for the most part, is just, you know, more white people walking through the fucking, you know, all the main characters were white. All the main characters were white. And then you get like, you know, you had Moraine, right? Which was Miranda Otto, I think. And, you know, she was white, but then you had Lan, and Lan is like a big hulking white dude in the books. And here he's like an Asian guy, you know, and I hear he was a good actor. But again, a lot of like the hardcore fans, like you had like Nynaeve and some of the other characters as well. I think Matt and Perrin. I've only read the first 4 books, but the first 4 books are really good, but they're long as fuck. Like these books are so goddamn long. An actual film adaptation is impossible unless you do it as a full-fledged 21 episode fucking show. Right? Like you just doing these as like 8 episode fucking runs. Like you can't. Like when you start getting into like the details of this world, and like it's just insane. And then so here's the thing: you had like 14 main stories, 14 main books. One book, I think it was book 10, takes place over the span of 1 day, and each chapter is a different perspective from a different character about an event that happens in 1 day. It was not a well-liked book in the series. But Robert Jordan died before finishing the last couple of them, and then he had asked Brandon Sanderson, who is a well-known prolific writer in fantasy in his own right, to come on in and finish him up, and Sanderson did a pretty good job. But a lot of the diehard fans were like, this didn't really feel like, you know, it didn't really feel like Robert Jordan. You know, it would be kind of like if Tolkien died during The Hobbit, and like he's like, hey, I need to get C.S. Lewis to come in and finish it up.
He did. Well, the Silmarillion, he died doing that, and his son Christopher took over.
Okay, but like, is Christopher a prolific writer in his own right?
Not really. He kind of just finished off everything his dad did.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is Brandon Sanderson is a prolific writer on his own.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like the voice, he did his best to emulate the voice of Robert Jordan, but people who know that Brandon Sanderson's involved are going to see Brandon Sanderson. You know, and so to that effect, this is where potentially AI could do this. You take all the fucking, here's how this works, right? You take all the books, you could actually, I think somebody did this with Game of Thrones. And this pissed off George R.R. Martin. Someone took all of Game of Thrones and they asked AI, in the style of George R.R. Martin, finish the last 2 books. I'm paraphrasing. But taking the available writing samples of George R.R. Martin, taking all of the wiki articles about the lore and the history and the characters and everything else of Game of Thrones and where the story has been, it was able to like more or less put together a continuation of Game of Thrones to finish up like at least the Winds of Winter. Right. And George R.R. Martin got really mad at that. It's like, well, dude, if a fan is going to AI to fix your shit, to finish your shit, while you write your yearly blog post going like, sorry, guys, my thumb's in my ass, that's why I can't type anything right now. You're going to have people come out and inevitably fucking take your style, your voice, replicate it with AI, pitch fucking perfectly. And then from there, you know, like put out the stories that they fucking want. And that is a big problem. And I'll tell you what that tells you is that puts the fucking pressure on these artists, because now you got to compete with everybody else. And that's what they don't want. right? So George R. Martin doesn't want you to read his books until after he's dead. That's my theory on it. I've been saying that now for a while.
What's the author's name again of the rest of the Wheel of Time books?
Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but when Rings of Power season 2 came out, he was shitting on it bad. I was like, come on.
He also doesn't like AI.
No, he doesn't.
Like, yeah, he's not an AI guy. I don't. Again, I haven't. He's. I believe. Hold on. I believe he's Mormon.
The thing is, I didn't like is because he was saying that they didn't stick to Tolkien's like legendarium with it, and it's like doesn't like there's this one YouTuber I watch who I interact with on Twitter once in a while, and he explained it perfectly. The reason why they don't use as much of the legendarium as possible is because Amazon specifically bought the rights to the appendices, which is at the back of the Lord of the Rings books, and the second age is literally a page and a half. So they have to fucking make shit up. They can't like pull shit from the books and stuff. They literally have to fill in the gaps. They have no choice. That is what the Tolkien estate said. You get this, make the rest of it up, and we'll approve it.
Okay, here, check this out, right? So this is, by the way, Brandon Sanderson, all right, on his website. Do you think Mormonism is correct? I'm always happy to give my reasons. Realize, however, that I'm not a big fan of the religious argument, but I don't think you can prove religion. Arguing Bible scriptures doesn't really do anything productive in my experience. I believe in Mormonism for 3 general reasons: experience, logic, feelings. So I'm good without ever reading anything this guy puts out, which I know sounds terrible. I know it sounds terrible. I get that. I understand that entirely. It's like, I fervently believe that if you want to save society, you have to end organized religion. Because religion in and of itself, have your faith, have your spirituality. I have no issue with that. All right. I think spirituality and faith can actually do a lot for your mental well-being, especially if you're recovering from something. Because your healing is all based around, in many ways, your mindset. If you believe you can heal from something, there's a pretty fair chance you can recover. Right? Now, I mean that, like, not everything, obviously, like certain things you can't. But if you're suffering from a traumatic experience, your mental state is something that can very much benefit your physical state. But religion outside of that is a lie. It's a fallacy. It's harmful. It's destructive. I want society to crumble. No, I want society to thrive. And you don't thrive when you have an oppressive regime with their boot to your fucking neck. Explain to me how that benefits anyone outside of yourself. Right? No, I mean that honestly. Like, honestly explain to me how organized religion in modern times does anything other than act as a mechanism for control. Right?
Yeah, that's all it is.
I mean, think about it. You've got a pastor in Flint, Michigan, who was groomed by his grandmother to go and to be a pastor at the age of 11. He takes over her church when she dies. And the thing is, like, he can barely keep it open. So rather than just let it go and move on with his life, he's trying to, like, preach all this shit. And the guy is such a fucking hypocrite and a liar.
He is.
That it's like, how can you even trust him as being a person to get your faith from? Mo, these people need to be controlled. A lot of people can't be left to their own devices. Well, I mean, honestly, I disagree with you on that. I think people could. I think people could. I think people could easily.
That guy in Flint likes that Putin.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Had his own son disown him.
So it's definitely that.
I thought he was one of the good ones. I even told him that one time. I was like, I don't like people who are religion, but you're good. And now I'm like, no, never mind.
When I first met him, I was like, oh man, I'm glad. Oh, you're like an adult in the room. That's great. Now look, I know that I can be a dick. I know that I can be a prick. I know that I can be egotistical. A lot of the times it's literally just for fucking around. Okay. But I got into it with one of the DC guys once because I was on a stream with a bunch of those guys. and they're just talking nonsense. Like, and like, you know, it's like the Nicotina's. Remember Nicotina?
Yeah, I remember that.
And like, I like Nicotina, but like this guy, like Unfiltered, whatever it was, and a few of those other guys and shit. And we're talking about the Snyder Cut stuff, or Zack Snyder returning. And I made some comments about it, and they're trying to push back. And I said, look, guys, if you don't want me to be the smartest guy in the room, then stop making me the smartest guy in the room. And ooh, that pissed them off. Ooh, that pissed them off. Some fucking fierce. I was laughing at that shit. But like, yeah, I'm kind of being a dick to kind of prove a point and shit. I do miss Nicotina too, Droga. I do. I like Nicotina. He's doing sports now. There's that. I like sports. You know, I'm not a sports guy, but it's good. Parallax here. I heard the pastor loves to crash birthday parties, especially 21-year-old. Yes, he does.
We didn't crash it.
I mean, okay, so like Parallax, do you know the story of why he did that? Right? Do you know that like the story of why Enosh went to H. Bart's party? It wasn't because like he was trying to win H. Bart's over, like legitimately, because H. Bart's was like, this is gonna sound so fucking bad. He was basically like making it rain, like we were all like he was in a strip club and we were all just clapping cheeks for him. Does that make any sense? Like
that was COVID money.
That was COVID money, yeah, right. So he's just like making it rain. And I'm not even gonna lie. Like pretty much at that point, I think H. Bart's was like almost personally funding like half my life at that point. I thank you. Yeah, fucking. That's why you're here now, all these years later, and I'm not like putting it behind a paywall, because I genuinely like you. But anyway, so we would always, me and Enosh would stream at the same times, and H. Bart's would usually, I think, either start with Enosh and then come over to me. And then it was always a super chat. So he'd always super chat more. And so Enosh was getting kind of frustrated with that. And so when Enosh found out that H. Bart's was in the same state as him, you know, he that's when he went and did like the Pantheon shit, right? Or no, not the Pantheon, the what was it, the Pillar, right? You were like,
it was the Pantheon. Or no.
No.
Wait, you're talking about the Poindexter Hall of Fame?
Yeah. The Poindexter, he did the Poindexter Lounge Hall of Fame, where he wanted to really show love to members of his community that have been there. And the first one was H. Bart's, right? And he had like this this whole stream about it. It was really funny. It was so pathetic. But then he went to H. Bart's. Well, I think he went to the party before he did this thing, or was that after?
Yeah. Before.
So anyway, he drives over to H. Bart's house, which is what, like 2 hours away, wasn't it? It was a distance.
Yeah, he's by Flint, and I'm in the Grand Rapids area, so yeah, like 2 hours.
Yeah, and so the thing is, though, is that like because at the time I was doing Uber Eats and DoorDash, and everyone knew it, and people like to try to use that shit against me like a lot. Enosh knew that one of the running gags between H. Bart's and myself was H. Bart's wanted me to bring him Arby's. You know, like that was one of the running gags. And so Enosh went to Arby's and bought H. Bart's Arby's and took it to his birthday party. So like a mid-40s-year-old man drives 2 hours with his whore of a wife, buys Arby's. Honestly, now I'm on Tiffany's side at this point. But, you know, she gets recommended to me on Facebook every once in a while. That's really weird. And I'm just like, she looks happy. And Enosh just looks like, you know, Enosh. Dating, you know, he basically hooked up with a woman who's basically just like his ex-wife, like right away. But anyway, I agree with you, Mo, that Arby's would hit the spot right about now. If I could go get like a couple of those like fucking roast beef sandwiches, I'd be very happy. But yeah, he went out to the house and like, it was so funny to me because I'm like, why? Like when YouTubers they do meetups, it's always kind of awkward. But like, as a person who's been making content for a long time, I would never, ever, 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 ever go to somebody's fucking house. Right? Like I would never do that. I just would. I've had people invite me to come over to their house, like, you know, and whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. Why would that's so weird to me. Like if I was in Michigan and I was by you, I don't think I would do that. You know, if you were like, hey, you want to come to my 21st birthday? I think it would be kind of weird. You know, now is a little bit different, but like that was still early on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hold on. Is Enosh the JD Vance of this group? God, no. No. We might find out he's like the Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeez.
I'm kidding. Did I see the video of Kevin Spacey tap dancing in a jazz blues club in Tel Aviv? No, I did not. Oh my God. Are they going to end up bringing back Kevin Spacey now? Right? How much you want to bet? That Kevin Spacey is going to be the bad guy in Rush Hour 4?
He's going to be the
Right.
bad guy in Avatar 5.
Yes, there you go. Oh, by the way, I just got to point out, that Donovan is currently watching the stream because he's stalking my Twitter feed right now too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's retweeting because I talked to like a tipster who was here a little bit ago, had talked about the new Grok edit image thing, and the other night, like, because people are using it to like undress women, and honestly, like the other night we were talking about that, and I don't know if you guys remember, I put Amish clothing on her, because I honestly was like that. I feel like that's more of a thing. Like that's kind of weird. I don't like that, to be fair. If you're gonna do it privately, I can't stop you. If you're gonna do it privately, nothing we can do about that. But whatever. Play that clip I sent you to Donovan. Hold on, let me see here. What is this one here? Oh, is this the?
I sent a picture of Mikey Madison to Parallax in a bikini using Grok. You're welcome.
Mikey Medicine? That's kind of weird. It's kind of an odd thing to do. Here we go. This is Mikey Medicine. It's true. Okay, this is the clip. Let me turn this up a little bit.
Notice me! No!
That basically that kind of summarizes. Yeah. that kind of summarizes Donovan right there. And I'll fully admit I'm like an idiot for like giving him like the dumb attention. But it's so funny to watch. It's like watching like a turtle on its back. It's like it's flailing. It's obviously having a bad time. You look at it, you feel bad for the creature because it doesn't know any better. It's just retarded. It's a turtle. It just lives its life, eating grass and shitting. That's really about what a turtle does. And then you still have to go over and flip it over on its legs because you want it to live. And then it ends up entering on its back again, flailing around, and you're just like, well, evolution just take care of you. Actually, no, I think that evolution will take care of him because he'll end his bloodline. I'm a dick. What can I say? Here we go. Oh, here we go. This is one that's thoughts on the Learning Center. Nick Shirley is a legit retard getting called a journalist. First, it was the Venezuelan in Denver, and then the Haitians in Ohio. Now this was next. Well, I was looking into this a little bit. I don't want to say looking into it. I watched a little bit of it, and at first I was like, some of this seems relatively compelling. The way that it's presented, they go over there, they knock on the door. There's no kids. I get all that. Okay. But then I started kind of looking into it a little bit more. And in the case of Minnesota, other journalists went there. The daycare was full, right? And they just didn't want to let the people in with a fucking camera crew, which makes all the sense. When my kids went to preschool, they went to it was a private preschool that was in part funded by the state. It was owned by a nonprofit. Teachers were fantastic, and they wouldn't let you into the building. They wouldn't just let you come on in. You have to buzz. They come talk to you. They'll let you in. They make that call. And then, so you've got that. But in this case, there's another guy, this Cam Higbee guy, I think, did it in Kent, Washington, which is like right next to where DSP lives in Renton. I'm in Kent all the time. And they found this daycare listed that gets money from the state, and they went there and there was like no kids there, right? And I was like, that's a little suspicious. I'll fully admit, I was like, that's a little suspicious. And then someone was like, it's winter break and there's no kids at the daycare during winter break. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is. It is winter break, right? It totally is. I just thought that makes a lot of sense that they would have, no kids there during the holiday season because a lot of that stuff is closed down until next week. So, there you go. But a lot of these guys are just, the fraud is definitely real. The thing is, how can you tell if they can't actually get in? You're saying that the fraud is real, but trying to enter the daycare is sus as fuck also. Dude, they're trying to create the content to end up going into the daycare. All right. Like it's just, I don't believe all of it. I believe all of it. There's no fraud. No, I think there's always fraud in these situations. People during COVID, especially, people were applying for these PPP loans and getting like tons of money that they didn't have to give back. So but that daycare called the Learning Center was a bit sus. Well, was a bit sus. The daycare had the sign spelled wrong. Well, I'm not saying that the people who are teaching are smart. I'm just saying it's like, look, it's kind of like this. It's like, those of you who are younger don't remember this. In 2009, James O'Keefe III went dressed as a pimp to the outside of these Acorn centers in California, went inside with a woman named Hannah Giles, I think was her name. And she was dressed like a prostitute. And they went in there and they undercover filmed trying to get help to like figure out how to like bring traffic people over into Mexico or from Mexico or whatever for like basically sex trafficking purposes. And then they went to Andrew Breitbart, who edited the videos, got them up on Fox News, and they created this massive scandal in 2009 trying to claim that these Acorn facilities in California were trying to basically help people do sex trafficking when none of it was true. None of it was true. Okay. And so they ended up getting Congress, the Republicans in Congress, to create the Defund Acorn Act, and they ended up killing this entire nonprofit based on lies. So all I'm saying at this point is like, take everything with a grain of salt. It's O'Keefe, but I call him O'Queef because he looks like a fucking human queef. Some of the backlash is kind of xenophobic towards Somalians. Yeah, it would be. What do you think is going to happen with conservatives? They see someone who's brown doing something they perceive to be illegal. Do you really think they're not like, hey, can we round up ICE and deport them too? That's what they want. Shirley is trying to demonize a certain group of people and saying that the daycares are funding a terror group in Somalia. Well, if you're saying that the fraud is real, but then he's trying to say that this is happening, again, call for an investigation. Let the state figure it out. Let the government figure it out. We'll see where the chips fall. I'm never against investigations into allegations, but I'm always interested to look at the moral character, the moral turpitude of the person who's behind it. Because a lot of these content creators, man, they don't got morals anymore. They just don't. Send to HBARTS to investigate. Nah, he would just be like, he would let it go. I don't know if he would. Hold on here. Command Unit for 5. Thank you, buddy. Says the Warhammer 40K secret level episode performed the best and secured the Amazon 40K deal. 40K is a very dedicated fan base and is growing fast. That's what you've been saying. And I don't disagree. So, I do think that having 40K on Amazon will do well to get it over into the mainstream. But here's the thing with that, dude. HBARTS, do you know like there are Warhammer stores?
Yeah, I know. I got one by me.
Yeah, there was one by me. It ended up closing down and moving a little bit north towards Tacoma. But it was like if Warhammer wasn't popular, they wouldn't have physical locations to go and buy your minifigs.
Yeah. There was, what was I going to say? You can go what you're going to say. I got to figure out what I was going to say.
No, it's fine. And then also here, if you reacted to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 Devil's Pack trailer, I haven't done it yet. I will do that before we end tonight. I promise you.
Oh yeah. So one of the things I was going to say way earlier in the stream was that we were talking about like, was it like, I don't know what it was, but when it comes to like TV shows and movies, I was talking to Parallax earlier today about like video game adaptation stuff, and like I'm like, I don't get it when they do these things. Why can't they stay accurate and like find actors or actresses who look like the characters from the games? Like you remember that shitty Resident Evil show that came out on Netflix last year or the year before, right?
Yeah.
None of those people. I don't play Resident Evil, but I've heard from Parallax and other people that it was shit because nobody looked like who they were supposed to.
Well,
Like,
I mean, like you had Lance Reddick as Wesker, and Lance Reddick is an amazing actor. Sadly, he passed away. I love Lance Reddick. I truly do. He's such a good actor. And then it's like, but I never watched the show because I'm like, bro, you're not Wesker. Like, I'm sorry, like you're not Wesker. Like, it's not anything against you personally. Get that money, get that bag. All
Just
right?
like Snape in this new show.
I am torn. I will give Papa Essadue, I will give him a shot. Okay? I will. I promise you I will. I was rewatching Deathly Hallows Part 2. We watched the whole thing the other night. And dude, fucking Snape, that shit brought my ass to tears. Brought my ass to fucking tears. And I'm like, God fucking damn it. Like, you're never going to be able to recapture this. I don't care how good of an actor this guy is. All right? Like, we're going to get, 10 years of him as Snape? And then, like, just get taken out at the very end. And then it's like, we're going to get all that information. And I'm sure there's going to be way more that they're going to give us context-wise. But it's like...
Will we get 10 years, though?
Yeah, you think it's going to get canceled. It's not going to get canceled. If Netflix gets this deal, right, and they get Warner Brothers, dude, fucking Harry Potter on Netflix is massive. I'll tell you what's going to probably get fucking destroyed is going to be a contemporary version of Narnia.
oh yeah, that's gonna fucking.
Dude, I ain't even fucking religious and shit, but even I'm like, dude, Tilda Swinton as Aslan. I love Tilda Swinton, but I'm like, Tilda Swinton as Aslan? I mean,
Oh no, it's Meryl Streep, I think.
oh, Meryl's okay. Maybe it would be better as Tilda Swinton. But no, and I love me some Meryl Streep. Okay,
Just got Liam Neeson back.
just keep bringing him back. Fuck it, why not? Well, that's the thing with the Harry Potter show is they dressed Nick Frost the same as Hagrid from like the first movie, and
Yeah,
even
so-
Chris Columbus came out and was like, "What the fuck's the point?"
Yeah, I also think like I know it's been 20 years since Harry Potter, but I think it's too early with it. Like I don't know, like my excitement for when they said they were originally doing a show, I was like, oh, maybe let's get the first Wizarding War, see like Voldemort's rise to power. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, if we got Voldemort's rise to power and we were able to see, all of that, we were able to see, how all of that played out, everything. I think that'd be great. Okay, but they tried that with the fucking Fantastic Beast movies, and the problem with the Fantastic Beast movies was that it's like no one gives a shit about Newt Scamander, and it's like, and I'm not even talking about the Johnny Depp thing. Even going into Crimes of Grindelwald, which was actually like good, right? The Crimes of Grindelwald was actually really good. Johnny Depp did a great job in that one. Jude Law as Dumbledore was really good. But again, Newt Scamander was fucking pointless. And
I also
it's
felt like it was too early in the timeline.
well, I was playing the Hogwarts Legacy video game, which takes place 100 years before the events of the books, and that was a great timeline because it was just like it basically felt like you were just playing out a Harry Potter power fantasy.
Yeah, I liked that game a lot.
Oh, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought the story was, it ended kind of abruptly. I would say that probably the only part about that game I didn't care for is because there was that character, Serona, the trans lady that owned the 3 broomsticks and the trans witch. And she had a part in it where she introduces you to a character and that character dies. And then you never converse with Serona again about what happened. Like there's no follow up to that mission to go, hey, by the way, your friend is dead. I'm so sorry.
Good luck with that.
There's other parts in the game where people die and you're like, hey, listen, this person totally got fucking yeeted. I am very sorry for your loss. But that one right there, they cut out. So that's a little bit weird to me.
Yeah. Going back to like other stuff with that, like it's like people always like say like with this whole Snape thing, like that you're racist if you don't. It's not. It has nothing to do with being racist. It's that you want the character to be how they are in the book. And from what I've heard, Snape is described as a white guy with long black hair and stuff, right?
And he's got a hook nose.
Yeah.
All right. He's a pasty, wiry, black-haired dude with a hook nose. Okay. I'm not saying certain ethnicity. I don't even necessarily think that JK was saying certain ethnicity. Never mind the fact that there are some allegories or some metaphors in that fucking book series that's a little sus, right? Like werewolves are an allegory literally for fucking AIDS. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. When Remus, he gets the werewolf. He gets, becomes a werewolf and shit. It is literally like an allegory for the HIV.
Wow.
Yeah. There's some stuff in there that's like a little subtle. Some stuff in there that's maybe not so much subtle. Some shit in general. Do I remember the Peter Pan movie from 2023? You mean the one with was it like Peter Pan and Wendy? That was on Disney Plus and had what's her nuts? It was Mila Jovovich's daughter.
There was a Peter Pan movie in 2023.
Yeah, it was on Disney Plus. But they did, or he could be talking about the Peter Pan movie that came out in 2003. Because that came out Christmas Day 2003. Jason Isaacs, who played Lucian Malfoy, was Captain Hook in that movie. Dude, that movie is so fucking good.
I like to imagine that movie is a prequel to Hook.
Kind of is. I always, I liked it too. There's a great line when he's gonna kill Peter Pan, and he's all like, some like whatever that line about death is, and he's all like, "Death is the next great adventure." That kid delivered it too. Solid movie. Let's see. Parallax here says this is for the new gens. H-Barts, the movies will always be there for us older Gen Z, but Gen Alpha is retarded and can't watch any movies made in the 2000s because it's old. I mean, yeah, I showed my daughter Ninja Turtles, the original Ninja Turtles last week, and she was like, Dad, what the fuck is this? It's old.
Well, Parallax it's not just Gen Alpha. There's people in our generation, like most of my friends can't even watch a movie from the fucking 80s.
I think people have trouble watching a movie in general just due to the sitting still for that long.
Like literally, I've asked people. I said, "You can't watch a black and white movie." They're like, "No." I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "It's in black and white." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "So if I turn the color off on Endgame, you wouldn't watch it?" And they're like, "Yeah, I wouldn't watch it." I'm like, "That literally makes no sense."
That's kind of funny. Like it's I mean, I want to, dude. Godzilla -1 in black and white's awesome.
Like I literally had one of my friends who's in his 40s ask me. He was like, "Hey, you got any horror movies you can recommend I watch?" I was like, "I'm not going to recommend you any horror films." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because everything I name off, you're gonna fucking say is shit." And he's like, "Okay, name them off." And I started naming off Hammer films. He's like, "What the fuck are those?" I'm like, "Told you."
Hold on. My niece hated Lily from Legend. Wait. Mia. God, what's her name? You're talking Legend, like the Tom Cruise, Ridley Scott Legend, right? Mia Sara is her, I think, who was in that one. Yeah, Droga. Yeah. Here's the thing. I put the movie in the 4K player. It started showing clips from the film on the menu. My daughter went, "What is this? It looks old." She's 8 years old. I'm like, "Hold up, let's watch the movie." We watched the movie, and she was like, "This is awesome." So it's like, I think you got to show him Mia Star. No, it's Mia Sara, dude. Yeah, Mia Sara. Yeah. She was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off too. I haven't seen Legend in a long time. I don't think we're ever gonna get the 4K of Legend though, because of the quality of the print. Nice. What?
Oh, you showing your daughter TMNT is actually a good thing because, what do you call it? Maybe she'll later on appreciate older films. Because that's how I ended up doing it. Is my parents showed me when I was like really young, like older stuff. So that's why I ended up liking it.
Yeah.
I think if you're not exposed to it at a young age, you're like, ew, what is this?
Yeah, in some ways I can see that. Like, it's kind of like I was never really exposed to westerns as a kid, and so I've never really kind of liked them.
I was exposed to westerns 24/7. My dad always watched John Wayne or Clint Eastwood movies.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen like the Fistful of Dollars or whatever it's called. The what's that show?
Trilogy.
The Dollar Trilogy. I've never seen them.
Really good movies.
No, I want to. I hear they're very good. Yeah. I've
I'm
just
not big on westerns, but there are good ones.
So I mean, I what was it? 310 to Yuma from 2005. That James Mangold did. The remake was awesome. With Christian Bale and Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I've heard that one's good.
Oh, you've never. Oh, dude, it's fucking good. Christian Bale gives a great performance, and and then Russell Crowe does really well. Ben Foster is in it. He's a good bad guy in that one as well. It's super good, and and that's a remake too. And I was like, but I had never seen the original, so. So it is, there's a lot there. Kids nowadays don't watch Christmas movies. I couldn't get any of my little cousins to watch any. I mean, we didn't watch any this year either. Actually, we talked about watching Home Alone, but we don't have Disney Plus anymore.
I watched 2 Christmas movies this year: Christmas Carol 1938 and It's a Wonderful Life. That was about it.
Oh no, that's not true. We watched the Kurt Russell Christmas one.
Oh, Christmas Chronicles.
Yeah, that was good.
I haven't seen the sequel.
I haven't seen the sequel either, but the first one's really good. Chris Columbus produced that, or did he direct that?
I think he directed it. I think so.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Music Manager says I recently rewatched Shaft from 2000. Christian kills as does Jeffrey Wright. Oh yeah,
I just watched that 2 days ago.
Dude, fucking John Singleton did really good with that movie. It's so funny he went from Shaft 2000 to Too Fast, Too Furious.
Jeffrey Wright, I could not take seriously in that movie. I thought it was funny as fuck.
What was that line he did about like the only thing I smoke is a menthol or whatever it was? There's a line in there about him doing that. He was such an odd character. Christian Bale was.
I watched the 2019 final film in that series yesterday. That was really good.
Oh, the one with Sam Jackson and was it Richard Round? No, it's not Richard Roundtree. It's
yeah, Richard Roundtree's in it, and so is A-Train from The Boys.
Okay, I haven't seen that one yet. The guy who Tim Story directed that one, I think.
Yeah, because I don't know if you know, all the Shaft movies are just one franchise.
Yes, I do know that. Yeah, yeah. It's
I like that the last one they actually gave Richard Roundtree a good action scene at the end because he passed like a few years after it.
Oh, okay, that sucks. I did enjoy I did enjoy the Shaft films. I've seen like the first 2. I haven't seen Shaft in Africa.
That one is retarded, but it's actually I think my favorite of the original films.
Okay, why is that?
It's more of like a James Bond kind of like going across like multiple locations type thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like some random tribe like hires Shaft to take out like a slave trade or something, and what's his name? Frank Finley, who played Porthos in the Three Musketeers in the 70s films. He's the villain.
Oh wow. That might be interesting to check out.
Yeah, it's a very odd film, but it's entertaining.
Well, I mean, the Shaft. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to bring back Shaft, in like like another way. If they try to reboot it again or something.
I say just leave it. Like since Richard Roundtree is gone now, I say just leave it. Don't ever bring it back.
But here's the thing with that. Quick question: do you think that franchises we should start to let franchises die.
Yes.
You know, it's like, do you want more Indiana Jones with
Not in
someone
film.
else other as yeah, like I wouldn't want another character as, but then again, if it was the right actor and like who's the right actor, like not Chris Pratt.
If you can continue to do like the video games, I'm fine. But so I'm fine with live action Indiana Jones. I know a lot of people wouldn't be happy with what I'm gonna say, but bring in the guy who looks like Harrison Ford, or just bring in someone and put Harrison Ford's face on him.
Oh, you're talking about the guy who looked like him that was in that Age of Adeline movie?
Yeah.
You know, he was actually in Dial of Destiny.
Yeah, he did the young scenes, right?
Yeah, he was a body double, and then he actually had a scene that he popped up later on, like in the Morocco bit.
Yeah, he was one of the guys holding the guns.
So it's kind of like, okay, I mean, like that could potentially work, you know.
I don't want to see it though if it's not Harrison Ford. If you are going to do it, it has to be someone wearing Harrison Ford's face. I'm sorry, but like, I don't want to see anybody else in that role. Maybe you can do Alden Ehrenreich from like Solo, have him do it.
I just want another Solo movie. You know, I would love another fucking Solo movie.
Solo?
I think that Solo was good enough to warrant a sequel. And I think that they fucking robbed us of something because people can't handle fucking change. So they
Yeah.
can all, you know, like
Last Jedi ruined that film.
yeah, the true casualty of that was clearly fucking stupid Last Jedi.
At least Knives Out's good.
Well, you know, hey, listen, man, look, it's kind of like that's fine, right? Knives Out can be good. I still need to watch the new one. I like the other two quite a bit, you know. So there's nothing wrong with enjoying those movies. There's nothing wrong at all with enjoying anything a director puts out. You know, if you like The Last Jedi, I feel sorry for you, but if you like The Last Jedi, that's fine. You know, but it's like that movie did it torpedoed the Star Wars franchise. And and you can tell JJ was so trying to fucking fix it.
Has it ever really recovered?
I think it will recover next year because it's been 6 years since we had a Star Wars movie in theaters.
Man, what is it with these fucking Mandalorian trailers? Like, I'm not feeling anything with them. Like,
It is a little bit weird, yeah. It is a little bit weird.
The only Mandalorian trailer that I've liked so far was the one that leaked out from was it the Star Wars?
Celebration?
Yeah, that was the only one that was really good.
And that's the one I think that's why they're holding back. In my opinion, they're holding back. And I think one of the reasons why they're holding back is because we're not quite there for the marketing yet, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
J.J. Abrams is a poor man Steven Spielberg. Look, man, Super 8 was a good fucking movie, okay?
Isn't that Stranger Things?
What? It's more E.T. But the monster in Super 8 looks like the fucking monster in Cloverfield. So in my headcanon, they're connected.
So I got something to tell you. I did not, influence this opinion whatsoever. So when Elmo came over for my Christmas party, one of the first things we talked about was DC. And he's kind of like a James Gunn simp. Like, James Gunn can do no wrong.
Yeah.
And he was like, why did Supergirl look like Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. People people realize that.
But he wasn't happy it looked like Guardians. He was like,
Well, what I love is if you tell people, like, you know, this kind of looked like Guardians. Some of them get real fucking defensive.
yeah.
You know, like no. I mean, it kind of did. Yeah, but the Guardians were like really good movies. Like, no one's arguing that Guardians weren't a good movie. You know, no one's arguing that. But there is something to be said, though, about how, like, the aesthetic of Supergirl feels like Guardians just without James Gunn's, you know, voice, you know, name being all over the marketing.
Yeah, like, and it could. I told him, I said I didn't think the Superman marketing was good, but I liked the movie. So maybe it's another situation where they're just really shitty marketing, and it's a good movie.
Well, again, it's kind of like, what I've talked about before is that, in these scenarios, it's like I don't think they know how to market movies anymore, right? Like I said on Twitter today, I said I really hope to, like, 2026 is the year where movie influencers die off, because I feel like the marketing of these movies now is so predicated on like trying to get these influencers, and for a while I thought that was the best way, right? Like you go to these content creators that have a big audience. They talk about movies. They love movies, all that shit. And then you come to realize that like either a movie critic, the longer they go, like they start to hate movies. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, look at like Chris Stuckman. Chris Stuckman, like, got his start, got big off of criticizing movies, made his own movie, decided, you know what, I'm not going to negatively attack these films anymore. People then called him a sellout, which I guess you could say is kind of true, but I don't fault him for doing it. Like he's in that world now, and that world is, politeness is key. Those things are key to be able to like maintain relationships in order to get things made, and then now people are attacking him because he's running, ads in his videos. I'm not saying I like the companies, but it's like clearly he's like taking these deals where he wasn't before. So something happened, right? So rather than trying to like understand, maybe he's like Shelby Oaks. Did you see Shelby Oaks?
I have no plans to. It's just not my type of film.
I mean, for me, a found footage is my kind of movie, but it's like this wasn't a found footage movie. Like it was originally pitched, I believe, as a found footage movie. I believe that. I believe that it was originally pitched as a found footage film.
I think Parallax is mad that we compared Supergirl to Guardians.
I mean, look, man, we could just, maybe they can cash, they can have Supergirl and Isabella Merced pick up the and have a fucking team there. They can hang out together.
Yeah, Superhawk.
Superhawk. There you go.
That Peacemaker finale is shit.
Oh, hold on. You mean people in the Snorlax circle that get very defensive about the DCU? Yeah, no shit. Wait, what'd you say? Hold on. What'd you say?
I said the Peacemaker finale was shit.
It wasn't.
And it has nothing to do with it not having cameo fests or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. I think for me, what got me was the complete like 180 on Rick Flag. Like they needed to do it, and this probably ultimately was the place to do it, but it's difficult to do that and then be like, have your whole season of this character kind of be in this way, and then to be so heavily influenced by Lex Luthor right off the bat. It was, I think there's a reason why that's the end of it. Like I have a feeling, and hear me out on this one, I have a feeling James Gunn is fully aware that the DCU is probably potentially not going to survive. I feel that because I've listened to some of if you go and you find that interview he did with Boba Talks, he was kind of hinting at the fact that he's like, anything could really happen with this merger, and it's like for the first couple years, Netflix will honor those agreements, but eventually whoever's in charge of DC or whoever's in charge of Warner Brothers at Netflix is going to end up wanting to make, to make their own shit.
The Snyderverse.
So, I agree. I do agree that we don't need another DC reboot, but we're probably going to, yeah, it's like, I think, look, I think personally, DC is like Star Trek, where it needs to probably be done on television. Now Superman did well this year. Okay, there's no denying that. All right, I'm not denying that. But I did say this the other day on with one of the shorts videos. it was up against none of Marvel's A team players. It was only up against Marvel's like, you know, C teams, right? Captain America, the new Captain America, fucking, you know, Thunderbolts, which is such a good movie. I'm not even knocking it. And then Fantastic Four, which is such a damaged franchise, now even more so.
If it would have gone against Doomsday, it probably would have been shitted on.
No, yeah, no. If it would have, if it went against Doomsday, it wouldn't stand a fucking chance. Doomsday is at this point a $2.5 billion movie, hands down. All right, Supergirl and Clayface are not gonna fucking pull out that kind of money, not even collectively. Supergirl, like I would say, 500 million on average worldwide. Clayface, maybe 400.
And remember,
that's
we got
if it's
Spider-Man
good.
next year.
We got Spider-Man next year. We've got you know, other things that are happening. And again, and I'm not, but hear me out. If these budgets are manageable and they can work within the framework of getting themselves like building up and earning some profit and then using that to springboard to the next projects, I am more than down with that. Okay. I don't want to sit there and relegate someone's success to just box office, because you guys know I don't like to do that. But it's like, again, Supergirl is, you know, like it's got a bit of an uphill battle. I think Millie Alcock, I feel really bad for her. She's going to get blasted by the chuds. You know that. You guys know that's going to happen, right?
Sadly.
So it's like that's going to be bad, and that can hurt it as well. I plan on seeing both movies in theaters. I do.
Same. So the thing, I told Parallax this. My biggest issue with the DCEU is not the DCEU itself. It's James Gunn. I do not like how front and forward he is with it. Like, I would prefer if he took more of a Feige back roll type thing. I just don't like seeing James Gunn everywhere. It annoys me.
I mean, to be fair, we haven't seen him in quite some time. But yeah, I understand your point.
Yeah, he got really fucking annoying with the Superman marketing. I was like, is this, like, who's the star, James Gunn or Corn Sweat?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, Corn Sweat, if he pops up in Supergirl, which I think he will, we'll see at that point whether or not there's a big impact with that. But again, it also really makes me wonder, how well is Supergirl going to do overseas? You know, because like I showed my girlfriend the Supergirl trailer and she was like, okay, right? Like, it looks fun. She wants to see it. I'm like, okay, you know, but it's like, it's not a rush out and see movie. You know, it's really not. It's not a rush out and see movie. And I don't know if we have many rush out and see movies anymore. You know, and I think that's a big factor with a lot of what's going on with Hollywood. A lot of these movies aren't rush out and see. There's no FOMO.
Fire and Ash was one.
Oh, fight! Yeah, that's an event. That's an event. Doomsday's an event. You know, Spider-Man's an event. Dune 3 will be an event. You know, is Clayface an event? No. Right? Like, these movies don't have that flow anymore. They just don't have that flow anymore. They don't feel like you're going into them and you're like, okay, I'm going to be getting something that's like big and worth my time. And it's not to say that every movie has to do that. Like, I enjoyed like showing my kids, you know, Three Ninjas. And that was, you know, not an event film, right? It's a 30-year-old movie that I love, and they love it too. My 6-year-old was, when we were watching Ninja Turtles, she was asking, can we watch Three Ninjas instead? And that's okay. She's only 6. But she identifies more with the 3 kids and how that movie is presented as, like, you know, kind of comical ninja stuff versus like the more serious nature of TMNT. See, Jess here blames streaming, blames it for the lack of FOMO. I don't think it definitely hasn't helped out because you can just wait for shit nowadays. But, you know, it is something that like is inevitable, right? And, you know, Rational had mentioned earlier, I know he told me this privately, but he'd mentioned it earlier that he got the Meta Quest 3. So he was watching Avatar, Fire and Ash on his Meta Quest, not Fire and Ash, sorry, Way of Water, but watching it in 3D. And so I'm wondering, you know, how long until 3D headsets, these headsets, VR headsets, become so commonplace that like you can go and put the thing on and get the fucking 8K, OLED screen or QLED screen inside of this, put it on, and you vision yourself. You're sitting in a big theater. You have the nice headphones on. You get the boom, 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 boom. You get all the sensory experiences, but you're sitting, you're sitting in the comfort of your own chair, your own bed, or whatever, and then you get to watch from a headset. Would you ever want to do something like that?
Yeah, I probably would.
I would be curious to give it a shot. I can't necessarily say that it would be like something that I would go back to all the time. But because I wear glasses, so that to me is a big problem. If the glasses, if like the glasses can feel comfortable, then I'm not too worried about it. But if they're not, then it makes it a pain in my dick, and I don't want to deal with that shit. So plus I do enjoy the going out of, leaving my house, going to the theater and whatnot, but it does have to have something now that's going to really drive me towards that.
Have you seen the Doomsday trailers?
I saw the X-Men one is quite that Steve Rogers one too, because that was
Did you like the X-Men
on there.
one?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
That's
did.
really good.
I was like, we're back, baby. We're so fucking back.
We got Gandalf the Grey back.
Hell yeah, man. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
I really can't wait to see how they just pull this all off. Like, but as much as people have been shitting on Marvel, like, everybody's gonna fucking be there day one.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're talking about a bunch of money.
Because like X-Men is like, even though it's old at this point, what do you call it? That's still like childhood superhero stuff to me. So like that has my interest to see those characters one last time.
Yeah.
I think the first, let me check when. Yeah, X-Men 2000 came out like 3 days before I was born.
Oh wow, I saw that. We had that at the drive-in actually that summer, and I ended up what is it? We had that as a double feature with oh god, we had that as a double feature with Gladiator.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't working there yet. I started working there the next summer, but I did end up, I was when I say that I was at the drive-in, oh wow, my friends finally got engaged. Some friends of mine I've known for a very, very long time, since before they got together. So, and it's been like almost 20 years, right? 19 years. My buddy finally asked, finally asked his girlfriend to marry him, and she said yes.
That's good.
Yeah, well, his brother passed away last year, 2024, from complications with his heart. He had he had Hep C and a few other problems, and he had I think it was like a liver transplant or something like that, and the heart just couldn't keep up, and he unfortunately passed away. And then they were just in town a couple months ago. I saw them. We had lunch, and that's awesome. Good for them.
There's a video. I'm trying to find it on Instagram that I was gonna send to you. Oh, where the fuck is it? I got so much shit bookmarked.
I don't know. I don't know. X-Men is Marvel. They'll always be the top team. Well, yeah, once they start doing X-Men movies and they have like the new continuity and they've got the new actors and everything else, that's Marvel's going to start making money again, right? And then Marvel will be able to kind of like take the other characters from these last couple phases that weren't really working out well, kind of put them on the back burner, bring them back when they need them, and then otherwise just kind of let them go. Because I don't think Fantastic Four is, I mean, look, because they're the ones, I think those are the ones that are kind of leading Doomsday, aren't they?
Yeah, I think Pedro's the lead.
Yeah, and then I mean, obviously Thunderbolts, like and everything else, we'll get more of that. But you know, if the rumors are true and we're getting Tobey Maguire, Hugh Jackman scene in Secret Wars, I think people are going to lose their shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose my shit.
And so there's going to be a lot of money made at that, you know, made when that fucking finally comes the fuck out. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Here's that video. I'll send it on your messages on Instagram.
well, I just posted here in the chat. Private
Oh
chat.
yeah, that's right.
I don't have to go fucking. I don't want to go fuck with Instagram. I hate Instagram.
All right. All right, there it is.
The only thing I like about Instagram is like their chat system. Otherwise, I fucking despise that shit.
That's Doomsday.
Oh Jesus Christ! Hold on. You know what sucks is I can't make it big. I can't make it big. Let me see if I can do this here, because you can't. You cannot. Do the video
Full screen.
on Instagram. So I'm hold on a second. I'm trying something a little bit different. Oh God. Okay. It's Jesus Christ. How long is this? 15 seconds or whatever?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Is there sound with it? Because I don't think it captured the sound.
Yeah, there's sound.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I have this extension on my browser that kind of will capture any video on any website.
Parallax
So-
will like this video.
Yeah, so whenever I go over, like when I'm, you know, like Flickster or whatever,
Yeah.
if I want to download something, I can just click this little extension and it just auto captures the video footage. It finds the index file of it and then just downloads it. So it's pretty nice. Okay. This is, where the fuck is that goddamn tab? All right, here we go. That it? What the fuck?
Did it stop?
I think that's maybe that's all I got. That's all it did. I think even the fucking here. Yeah, that's it. This fucking Charlie Kirk will return. Imagine getting shot in the neck in front of the entire world, and the rest of your fucking life is going to be the rest of your not your life. The rest of your like, you know, all you're going to be known for now is literally just getting memed on.
Nobody
And
remembers.
and everyone's like, "Hey man, your widow is fucking the vice president."
I was talking to my dad about Charlie Kirk, and he was like, "Nobody's gonna remember him." I was like, "Yeah, like maybe just memes, but that's about it."
I give it a little bit of time. The boomers are still pushing him pretty hard.
Well, they,
You know,
they forgot Rush eventually.
they what?
They forgot Rush Limbaugh.
Dude, they forgot Rush Limbaugh quick. Quick. So it's like, you know,
I think when you spread hateful ideologies and you don't end up in a position of a dictatorship, and you just end up like someone like who's just a podcast or something who's doing that, you'll just be forgotten because nobody wants to remember your hate.
you know, I feel like the idea that people had of Charlie Kirk was not who Charlie Kirk was. You know, like the idea, and this is what people are kind of coming to realize, I think, is that like on the right wing, they, you know, in the right wing spaces, they definitely have a lot of, you know, social media influence, like a lot of those echo chambers. They'll push the Charlie Kirk shit. But it was like Charlie Kirk was well known. He was popular on college campuses strictly because people knew who he was. But was he like well liked? No, like no, he wasn't. Like by and large, like a lot of women don't like who he is, for what he was saying. Young men were more drawn to him, but he wasn't like he had a 97% disapproval rating on college campuses. But people, but and like 100% popularity in regard to being known on college campuses. But he had a 97% disapproval rating. People didn't like the guy. Like, have you like his podcast is fucking dead, right? Like, let me see if I can find this here because I gotta start watching.
We are all Charlie Kirk now.
Yeah, there we go. We're all Charlie Kirk these days.
God, I fucking like my parents. I was showing them fucking Erica Kirk stuff. It's like this fucking bitch is walking out like bro and shit.
Yeah, I know.
And you see that booth she set up that was like Charlie's last one when he got shot in?
Oh, at Amfest? Yeah, and you could go in there and take selfies. It was like, what the fuck?
How long before they start putting a dummy with the neck wound?
I don't have that'd be pretty funny. Because what it was though is they were trying to sell this book here, right? 45books.com, right? Charlie Kirk Right Wing Revolution, How to Beat the Woke and Save the West. I mean, you gotta put your neck out there for that.
Put some Flex Seal on that.
Ooh, yeah, burn. Wait, where the fuck is it?
That book cover looked like a fucking Chinese propaganda poster.
Yeah, sorry, my phone fell. Yeah, it did. It did. All right. Oh, what time we got there? 2:34 a.m. I do need to start winding it down. I got work in like 12 hours.
I don't go back till Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean tomorrow is pretty. I don't know. It's easy shift. It's pretty easy. But this weekend's gonna be kind of busy. Okay, so here we go. Look at this here. Just kind of showing you guys this, right? So whoever this is the executive producer, I think, of like the show. I think this is the executive producer. But look at this here. Charlie Kirk's most viewed video ever, 22,000 views. Right, like exposing the Minnesota social welfare fraud ring. 8,000 views, right? Like this honoring Charlie, 18,000 views. It's dead. It's fucking dead, right? Like it's just absolutely toast. It doesn't matter what they say here. Their thumbnails, whatever. No one is giving a shit anymore about any of this. Because if you want to see my point here, they got 5.64 million subscribers. Okay, and look, 12 hours ago, 4,200 views. 16,000 views, 6,600 views, right? Like no one gives a shit. And this is that's their videos. Now their lives are a little bit different, but they haven't done a live in quite some time. The White House Medal of Freedom ceremony got 311,000 views. So, but they've stopped doing, they've stopped doing everything else, right? It's just kind of like this whole thing is dying.
Patriot Mobile.
No, but something's doing well here because in the last 7 days they've got 2.4 million views. This can't be accurate. But where are those views coming from? Because it's definitely not coming from anything else. Like even this one here, Erica, was from 22 days ago. 120,000 views, fine. You know how much money this clip made? 120,000 views. You want to know on estimate how much this made ad revenue wise?
$2 or something.
I'd say about maybe $12.
Did you see that Erica Kirk was lying about how she never drank or she didn't date guys before Charlie? And there's like actual fucking video footage because she was on a reality show dating guys.
Yeah, no, she's a complete fucking fraud. Yeah, absolutely, she's a complete fraud.
Honestly, at this point, I'm like, I think it probably would have been better if Charlie had his kids than her. She seems really weird.
Well, part of that, in my opinion, has a lot to do with just kind of like she's always been like. I told this to my girlfriend today. I said I don't think like she had anything to do with Charlie's death. I don't think she has anything to do with Charlie's death. But I do believe that she is happy that he is dead. And I think she's happy that he's dead because she's free. She's now in control. She doesn't have to submit to her husband, right? She doesn't have to submit to him or any of his whatever he was saying, right? The whole, you got to submit. You got to submit. Right? It's just kind of dumb.
Yeah.
So I feel at this point she's probably going to be
Do you really think she's gonna end up with Vance though?
I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and say yay, nay, or whatever. I'm going to say if it happens, I won't be surprised. If we find out that it happens, I will not be surprised in the slightest. They'll be like, oh yeah, that kind of tracks. Okay, cool. It happened. Okay. Right. And again, I think a lot of people would not be surprised either. I don't think you're going to be able to make any money at it, but I just,
That guy is not winning in 2028.
No one likes him. No one likes him. They're trying. They are so trying to make him to make him big.
The only way he wins is if a woman runs again. And I hate to say that.
I don't even think he beat a woman. He doesn't have the he doesn't have the temperament to beat a woman.
So I don't know if I told you this or not, but a couple of weeks ago, my dad was talking to his uncle on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And my great uncle is a MAGA cultist. So my dad was telling him how much Trump has fucked things up and stuff. And he got so fucking pissed at my dad. Like he started calling my dad by his middle name as a way to, show that he was pissed. And then I won't say the word on air, but he was like, our economy is fucked because of that neighbor president we had before.
Wow. Wow.
And it's funny because he voted for Obama in 2008 because he's like, well, I guess he's a black guy, so I should vote for him.
This is your uncle?
My great uncle.
Wow. That's kind of wow.
Because my dad was talking to him about it. My mom's a nurse. And when Trump, I don't know if you saw it, but he made it that nurses are no longer considered a professional degree or something like that. No,
I didn't know that happened. That's messed up.
That pissed off my dad and mom because, like my mom's a nurse. So now she's not a professional now. Like her job is fucking meaningless.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. That's just kind of like, it just seems like there's no rhyme or reason to the shit that he's doing. And I think that's kind of the bigger problem is that there is no rhyme or reason. It's just like fucking just do shit to do shit. Like he said today that he's not going to be sending, he's pulling out the National Guard from like Portland, Chicago, and LA. And like, all right.
It's like, what is going on? And then we're bombing Venezuela randomly. It's like,
yeah, we're down there stealing boats. We're down there fucking.
I can't wait for 2027 because you know what that is, right?
No.
The invasion of Taiwan.
Is that what's happening?
Because it's the 100th celebration of the Communist Party in China. So, like, China keeps talking up big for, like, the last, I think, 10 something years they've been talking, like, big that they're going to do it. And 2027 is supposed to be the mark. So we'll see what Trump does with that. Like, is he just gonna fucking bend over and let China take it, or are we gonna defend it? Like, what the fuck's gonna happen with that?
Yeah, I have no idea.
And I know China is fucked if they do it and lose. Like Xi Jinping is gone out of power if they lose.
Yeah, well, if they go after Taiwan and they lose, how would they lose? I mean, that becomes my honest question.
So the way they can lose is they did this twice in the 70s. It's not easy to do an amphibious landing. Like Normandy was a very lucky thing. That was just because the Nazis being incompetent and stupid. But what do you call it?
Well,
Like, the
didn't
United
they
States-
also make the claim that they were going to be invading another place, and then that's why Normandy was kind of left wide open?
Yeah, and the Russians were also doing an advancement on the Eastern Front, so they kind of had to focus on that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like the United States is ready. Taiwan has all the stuff ready. The last time they tried this, the United States threatened to nuke China, but this was before China had nukes. So we kind of stopped them right there and then with that. But this time, like, I do think it's if they said if this happens, it won't be drawn out like Ukraine. It'll be like a quick like month or like a year thing, and that's it. Like, it's done.
I have no idea.
But yeah,
I
China
legit-
has to win this. Like, if they don't, I don't want them to win it, but they have to win, otherwise their country's fucked.
I mean, they got what? They got 1.6 billion people.
They also have one of the most untested military superpower wise, because they haven't fought a war since the 70s, and the last time they fought a war, it was against Vietnam, and they lost. And Vietnam is very small compared to China.
Oh, okay. Well, I
So-
mean, you know, I don't know if they want to, you know, do all. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't really paid much attention.
I don't know. I just think this whole Taiwan thing is funny because it's literally just the big country's butthurt that they never finally beat their enemy way back during the Civil War. I don't know if you know that.
No, I don't know. Sorry, my brain kind of blipped. I'm getting kind of tired. That's why I'm like,
Yes.
fuck. I'm just like, okay. I'm kind of hitting that spot.
Yeah, and during the Chinese Civil War, the Kuomintang, who was the original government, was kicked off by the communists. They beat them, and they fled to Taiwan. And so the big communist, Mao Zedong and them, they're not too happy that they never got to finish the job.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of been butthurt, kind of like how Trump's still butthurt that Biden beat him in 2020.
Yeah, I know. He keeps like the biggest fraud ever.
It's like,
Like,
dude,
okay.
it's like you won. Shut up.
It's not good enough. It's not good enough. But yeah, I think on that note, I think I'm gonna end it because I think I'm getting sleepy.
All right.
So it's not that I'm down to chat. I'm just kind of getting hit by that now. You know, I'm like, all right, I need to dip out. So I did promise Command Unit that I would watch that thing. So if you want to take off, that's cool. I'll just watch this Kingdom Come Deliverance thing. I'm talking about it. You know, and then and then yeah, I don't know what you want to do, but like he did ask a couple days ago and I kind of forgot.
I'll stick around.
Okay, let's see how this is. I do want to play this game because I love the first one a lot.
18.
All right then.
Where's your old band?
You're looking at all that's left of it.
To tell the truth, I may have been in a few battles. Fighting isn't really my thing.
Bastards! Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse.
How dare you speak?
If we're really to step on Sigismund's toes, we need capable men. And the devil's capable of anything, really.
Aren't we a bit short-handed for waging war?
It's just enough for my kind of war.
Guard, seize them!
Shut the fuck up or I'll redden your fucking cheeks for you.
The devil's pack. They're exactly the sort of men we need.
Oh, the laddie's playing the hard man, is he?
You will pay for what you have done.
course. Henry.
Who's this? Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Areto. I came very close to holding the town. Besides...
There's no time for chit-chat. He's our ally.
Is it just me, or is like the marketing for some of this stuff?
What is it?
Sire, I bear news from the Italian court. There's been a robbery.
This fucking country!
So it's like, is it just me, or do they like they're trying to make this like I don't want to say funnier than it is, but they're like really playing up a certain aesthetic.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, good stuff, absolutely good stuff. But all right, everyone, thank you very much for hanging. I appreciate it. Have yourself a good new year. We'll be back soon, obviously, with more shit to fucking rant about because I just can't stay the fuck away. And
Turn off that pesky ad block.